Alright guys, Revolve Roster here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Money in the Bank 2017. I've just forgotten to get my notes up, 1 second. Okay, so Money in the Bank 2017. This was the first pay-per-view main roster show that I've looked forward to since Mania. Like Payback, not particularly, Backlash, hell no, and then Extreme Rules, not really. So this show, I actually thought would be pretty good. And that's for two main reasons. One, it's a Money in the Bank show. Money in the Bank is one of the highlight pay-per-views of the year normally. Look at 2011, look at 2013, look at last year's pay-per-view. 3 hella matches on that show. This show here, I thought, and the other reason is because I thought the main event on this show could be great. I thought you had Styles, Zayn, Owens in that matchup. Guys that know how to work ladder matches and can put in some fantastic spots and make it a hell of a match. 1 second, let's make myself feel a little bit more comfortable. It is absolutely boiling. I'm going to turn my fan on because I feel like if I don't, I'm going to die. But I was looking forward to this show. And this show is a show that some people are calling the worst pay-per-view of the year. It's a show that I don't think is the worst pay-per-view of the year. I think that goes to Fastlane, or hell, to Backlash, for God's sake. Come on, people. It's so warm, I'm so sorry. So yeah, this show is one that people are a little down on, and I tend to agree. This show was lackluster and mediocre, and it just pretty crap. Let's get into it. I actually watched the pre-show. Oh my god, only because it was literally on, and I was just like, why not? I watched the pre-show. I watched the pre-show match. It was the return of the Hype Bros, or the return of Zack Ryder, who would be teaming with Mojo Rawley again to take on the Colognes, Primo and Epico. This match was nothing. They got the heat on Zack Ryder. Mojo came in for a hot tag. He hit the discus punch in the corner, and then they hit the Hype Rider for the win. 2 stars. It was fine. It was TV. It was your pre-show match. The show kicked off, and we kicked off with the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And I just need to get my notes up for this, because I've got a lot of notes for this show. Like, literally, too many notes. So the women came out. Of course, it was the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Carmella, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Tamina, and Natalya. And they did like this really good package as all the women had come out, after all the women had come out, which was like all of them wanting to break out and becoming the first Ms. Money in the Bank, which they've called it, which I think is a good name, Ms. Money in the Bank, not Mrs. or Miss Money in the Bank, Ms. Money in the Bank. So they did a really, really good package where basically Natalya was like, I want to be the best there is, the best there was, the best there will be. Tamina was like, I want to make my family proud. Carmella was like, I want to show everyone how fabulous I am, or some crap. Charlotte was like, I want to be the queen. Becky was like, I want to reclaim my throne as the champion of SmackDown. And it felt very natural that they did that. However, the biggest problem is this promo package played as all 5 women were in the ring. These women detest and hate each other. We're all in the ring, just watching this 5-minute video package. Just, yeah, silly. But the match itself began, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't like this match. Now, my rating is not like mega harsh, but I didn't like this match. And the reason is, every time these women did anything with the ladder, I cringed because they looked like they were going to die. Tamina, who apparently was the MVP of this match to some people who are obvious idiots, Tamina took so many shots to the stomach, and it just looked horrible. Like, it's not like she took it horrible, it just looked horrible. There's a reason there's never been a women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Because as much as we like to push women, and we like to give them the Hell in a Cell, we like to give them steel cage, we like to give them table matches and stuff like that, this is a ladder match. Their bodies are just not made for it. So when I saw Carmella taking like a big ladder bump, when I saw Becky Lynch getting power slammed on a ladder, I just cringed. Because every time it looked like they were hurting. And not hurting in the way like, oh, that actually looks dangerous, like, oh, you're selling it well. No, they looked like they were hurting. There was some good spots. Tamina botched a Samoan drop on Carmella at one point, which did make me laugh. What else was there? My notes for this match are very weird. So, first of all, one thing I noticed, like, the welcoming committee. So Carmella, Tamina, and Natalya were the welcoming committee. No longer, apparently. Did they break up on SmackDown or something? Because I must have missed that. So warm. But yeah, that's my first note. Basically, a lot of my notes for this match are they all just died. Like they all just killed themselves. Tamina took a lot of punishment. Natalya at one point took a slingshot into a ladder in the corner. Just painful. Like, oh my god. And then she sold it, like, not like she was selling. It was just like, oh, ow. Like, damn it, that hurt. What else happened in this matchup? Tamina botches a Samoan drop. Carmella is still mega green, and she seriously is. Charlotte gave her a running big boot, and Carmella just absolutely, she missed. Like, it was horrendous. Charlotte then did probably the spot of the match. Well, the spot of the match. She did a spiral tap to the outside onto Tamina and Natalya, who was standing up. I thought that was a really, really cool spot. She did a twisting 450, basically. But it was a spiral tap. It was AJ Styles' move in TNA and in New Japan. And used it in WWE once, maybe? I'd love it if he did. But yeah, so Charlotte took out Tamina and Natalya. Those three were gone. Becky Lynch climbed the ladder, was ready to retrieve the briefcase. But who should step in but James Ellsworth? He pushes the ladder over. He tries to help Carmella up it. Carmella is dead. I can't remember how Carmella died. I think Becky Lynch sent her into a ladder or something, or I have no idea. But yeah, Carmella was dead, and James Ellsworth decided he would climb the ladder, grab the briefcase, drop it to Carmella, and the referees were like confused, like John Cone and Charles Robinson, and I can't remember the referee's name, but they were like confused. They were like, two of them were like, that can't be the finish. One of them was like, that can be. So I'm like 2-1, so that should be the finish. But we needed clarification. And who gave us our clarification but James Ellsworth? So he goes over, picks up the microphone and says, your winner and first ever Miz Money in the Bank, Carmella. Why does James Ellsworth get to decide who wins? Like, that is A, stupid. B, I thought this finish was atrocious. If you've seen my video, if you haven't, please check it out. It's a minute long. It won't take much of your day up. But it really conveys how I'm feeling. Like, I've got most of that out now. But this was really crappy booking. Like, I feel like that should have been a teased finish or a false finish. Like, that should have been like Daniel Bryan or Shane McMahon. I know they weren't there, but somebody should have come out and said, no, restart the match, and then Carmella could win. Or then anyone could win. I would have had Natalya win this match because she deserves it way more than Carmella and Tamina, and Charlotte and Becky don't need it. Like, Carmella is so green, and when I look at both Money in the Bank winners, I wanted none of them to win. They both did, and they both don't. They're not ready. Neither of them are ready. Carmella is not ready for a woman's title run. She's not good enough. She's annoying as fuck, and she just pisses everybody off. Oh, however, the matchup wasn't, like, atrocious. I said earlier, obviously, I didn't particularly like it because I felt like the women died. But it was like I didn't like the Hell in a Cell match between Sasha and Charlotte because they killed each other. And Sasha just died. But I'm going to give the women 3 stars because they actually did some decent spots. They put the match together somewhat well. There was no real story. But it was good. It was fine. You know what? It was fine. 3 stars for trying, and the spiral tap to the outside was very, very cool. Then we had so keep in mind, we've had one fuck finish. So one finish where there's been something. The next match on the show, the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships, The New Day, which was of course represented by Kofi Kingston. That came out wrong. Kofi Kingston and Big E would take on the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, for the tag titles. The first half of this, I found so boring. Like, I love tag matches so much, like, specifically because of DIY and the Revival and American Alpha and what they've done for them recently. But the first half of this was boring. They got the heat on Kofi, and until he got the pot tag to Big E, this match was like nothing. And my notes actually reflect that. There's so little notage. basically they get the heat on Kofi, and that's the only real note. Like, outside of that, it's like they get the heat on him really, really cool though. They got the heat on him by suplexing him into a ring post, which I thought was a cool spot. It was very creative. And then I noticed that basically nothing happened. Like, nothing happened. Eventually, Big E got the hot tag, and he did a apron spear to one of the Usos, and it was a pretty safe one. Like, he actually turned, so he was landing more on his shoulder than his neck, which I would rather you dislocate your shoulder than kill yourself or paralyze yourself. So that was fine. I've got another pop-up. God, come on. I noticed this is a long video already. The Usos then did some like wonderful double team stuff for what I thought was going to be the finish. Attacking Kofi's leg, giving him the big kick to the back of the leg, locking him in that Tequila Sunrise. Kofi escaped, which I thought that was a great finish if that was the finish. Like, I would have had a good grade for that. But this match, actually, in the second half, after this, was really, really good. Kofi somehow, like, got in a Dragon Sleeper, and that was such a close, tensious little moment. Like, Kofi with a Dragon Sleeper. Big E then hit there was a great near fall off an SOS. Then Big E came in and got a really, really good near fall off a big ending. They then hit the, although Big E did botch catching the Uso in midair. Then Big E, they hit the Midnight Hour, but eventually in the end, the Usos would get out of the ring. They basically, one of the Usos pulled the other out the ring, and they would lose, by count out because they walked away. What a crappy finish to, like, a last 3 or 4 minutes that was really good. So, like, in rating this match, it's going to be, like, 3 stars again. Like, but the actual, like, the finish was just crap. So, actually, I'm going to bump that 3 stars down to 2 3/4. Just, you didn't need this finish. Like, you could have had the New Day win clean. You could have had the Usos retain, and, like, it would have been fine. It would have been fine. Should have ended it with that Tequila Sunrise spot. 2 3/4 stars. Another fuck finish. 2 for 2. Then, I believe we had the SmackDown Live Women's Championship matchup, which was, of course, Naomi against Lana. Now, I'm going to admit something. Lana is like my guilty pleasure. I wanted Lana to win this belt so much. I didn't care how good of a wrestler she was, because I love the fact that when she came out on SmackDown, they wanted her to be a heel, and she got cheered. And then Naomi acted really heelish. And I was like, so Lana's the face. And then Lana wasn't the face. And I just think it would have been better if you'd made Lana the face. And made Naomi the heel here. But no, Lana went as the heel. The first thing I noticed was Lana's outfit was outstanding. It was... I'm sorry. It was breathtaking. It was like a swimsuit crossed with a wrestling costume. It was unbelievably great. Lana is a very sexy woman, I could not deny. This costume was unbelievable. How was the match? I thought it was fine. Genuinely, I thought this was fine. As my notes pretty much say, this was fine. Now, my notes are weird. So it's Lana's entrance music, which I thought was really, really cool. It's kind of like Nakamura's a little bit. And then it's Lana's a babyface, because she got cheered. Lana's outfit, Lana's scream. Lana is smart, because she, okay. So there's that really, really cool spot where Naomi always does, where she always gives the high kick when she's on the apron. Like, Lana just caught the leg and, like, jammed it across the ropes. Like, that was a smart spot. And then Lana worked over the leg. Now, it's the easiest way to get people invested into your matchup when you work over a body part. So kudos, this match was, like, idiot-proofed. Lana gave Naomi 2 snap suplexes into the ring ropes, which I thought was a very, very smart spot. The second one looked devastating. And then after that, nothing really happened. Naomi hit a rear view for a near fall. And then the bullshit at the end happened. So, it's funny because I'm reading this and it's like, oh my god. So Lana hit her finish. She hit the basically the leg hook, wrist lock, spine buster. And she got a 2 count. And I was just like, you've killed the finish dead. Killed her finish dead. She gets up. She goes to hit it again. Carmella comes out with Ellsworth. This was after Daniel Bryan had announced on Twitter that he was going to sort this Money in the Bank situation out on Tuesday. So it would have made sense here for Carmella to cash in and get her, like, because with Daniel Bryan saying, I'm going to sort this situation out, I don't like the way this has been handled, I don't like James Ellsworth's actions, I don't like Carmella's actions, it would have made total sense for the heel Carmella to cash in no matter what. Like, because she knows, I'm losing my briefcase on Tuesday. I am losing that briefcase on Tuesday because Daniel Bryan's going to take it off me. So she should have cashed in. But no, she didn't. She came to ringside. She distracted Lana, the heel, backwards, totally. She distracted Lana, the heel. Lana went for the spinebuster again. Naomi countered, sunset flip, and then locks her in the FTG, the Feel the Glow, which is a better name than the Slay Omission, which is what I have always called it. And Lana taps in her debut match. So again, I would have had a win. And then I would have had, knowing what I know happens with Carmella winning the briefcase, I would have had Lana win, and I would have had Carmella cash in on her, because then Lana would be a mega babyface. In her debut match, winning the belt, having Carmella beat her, that'll get Carmella over, because people like Lana. People like me, and the crowd liked Lana. Like, they didn't boo her. Maybe they weren't liking her because of her outfit. No shit. But no, they liked her because she's got charisma. Shockingly, she has weird charisma, and it's great. And Lana should have won. And in the end, I gave the match 2 stars. The end of my notes just says boo for this matchup, but 2 stars. This was fine. It was better than I actually thought it'd be. It was fine. This was my favourite thing on the show up to this point, and I'm not even joking, because it was nice to see Lana's debut. Then we had a holy shit moment, or did we really? Like, so we had this weird, crappy music playing, and it was like all lovey-dovey, and then there was hearts on the stage, and then Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis walked out. And you know what? I genuinely didn't expect that. And my notes say that. They say, holy shit, Mike Bennett's here. And then my notes say, and Maria. I can't forget Maria. Of course not. Maria is... She's got to be, like, the most beautiful woman the WWE's, like, ever had. She is absolutely stunning. Oh, my God. Like, she's stunning. And then we find out that Mike Bennett is not called Mike Bennett anymore. He's called Mike Kanellis. Now, I had, not an argument with my friend, but I put on Facebook, I said, Mike Kanellis, that's stupid, or something like that. And my friend said, it's just a name. I wasn't angry that they changed his name from Mike Bennett. That's not what I'm getting at. They changed Kevin Steen's name to Kevin Owens. I didn't care. They changed Hideo Itami's name from Kenta. He's a bigger star than Mike Bennett, and I didn't care. Mike Kanellis, just say it. It sounds stupid. That repetition of the K sounds ridiculous. And I also loved JBL, the smarky little prick, decided that he'd throw in a little thing for the fans and be like, I guess he took her last name. And I was just like, you bastard. But yeah, Mike Kanellis and Maria are on SmackDown. They're basically going to show us what the power of love can do. I think Mike Bennett might get a John Cena match down the line, or an AJ Styles match. Which, I like Mike Bennett. He's a good professional wrestler. He's not amazing. Like, I don't think he should be wrestling Styles. Look at this. He was a bigger star in TNA than he should have been. Like, he's a good wrestler. He's a good wrestler. He can have good matches. He had some good matches at EC3. A quite underwhelming one at Slammiversary, but some good matches. I just think that he's being pushed. Like, already, I can tell that he's going to get pushed. Because of, A, the gimmick has been laundered with. He's got a wife. He's got a wife, a manager. It's just, to me, it is like, it's a crappy gimmick as well. Like, this gimmick never works. These love gimmick never work. But yeah, so that was a cool moment, and then I realised it's not as cool. Like, and people are gonna really bitch and moan at me for like, oh, we'll just enjoy Mike Bennett. Like, I can't, because it's Mike Kanellis. Just say it. Like, and I mean, at least my end of the notes were, I genuinely didn't... Oh, Maria is still hot. No shit. Then we had, halfway through the show, the WWE title match. I cried when this was on at, like, 1:30 in the morning, or 2:30 in the morning. I laughed. Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton in St. Louis, Missouri for the WWE title. Jinder Mahal, I tell you what, I'm going to give him some praise. His entrance is very cool. His entrance is awesome. I love the rug. I love all the Titantron, and I love like the mask. Like, I love that. It's cool. And I'm going to give Jinder Mahal only a slight bit of praise. Jinder Mahal was fine in this match, but I'm going to tell you why Jinder Mahal was fine. He's not a great worker. He's not a good worker. He can be okay. This match was fine. Well, I actually thought this was a pretty good match. Probably the best match on the show up to this point. This match was idiot-proof. Randy Orton injured his knee by taking a back body drop over the top rope. Jinder Mahal just worked the leg. He jammed it into the apron, he jammed it into the barricade, he chop blocked it, he put it in a figure 4 at one point, which was a good spot, because Ric Flair was at ringside. And I generally said, that's a good spot. So this match was idiot-proof. Like, he couldn't fail. Randy Orton was amazing in this match. Like, I don't care if you don't like Randy Orton. I don't care if you think he's boring. This guy was on point in this match. He was awesome. And one other thing that was weird, Jinder came out first. So obviously, you're all going to know this. I didn't want Jinder Mahal to retain. Because he's the worst WWE champion in history. I've concluded that. He's been booked like shit. He's a shit wrestler. He does crappy promos. And he is a jobber. I didn't want him to win. So when Jinder Mahal came out first, that usually suggests that the champion's going to lose. And I was excited to see Jinder Mahal lose. And towards the end of this matchup, where it got really, really good, and it was like, oh my god, Jinder has decent heat. Randy Orton is hell over, of course he is. Randy Orton was on him at the gate, and obviously he injured his knee, which Jinder worked on, which was, again, idiot-proof, easy. Like, there was a good super kick near fall, which I thought was okay. Randy does the best superplex in the WWE, that one-handed one off the top rope. So good. And then the finish happened, and I loved the finish. Only to a degree. I hate the fact that Jinder won, and I hate the fact that he won with the finish. I think the finish should have happened, but Randy should have won. And I know what people are going to say. You don't want to see another boring little title reign, but you want to see a crap title reign instead then. Like, I'm being serious. So, Orton DDT Jinder. He hit him with the RKO. 1-2, the Sings put his foot on the ropes. The Sings want to be DQ'd. The referee ejects the Sings. The Sings decide they're going to go and get Cowboy Bob. Randy Orton loses his shit, kills the Sings, gives them the back suplexes on the announce table again, just throws them in the air. That was awesome. And then he RKO's one on the outside, RKO's one for a table. That was a really, really cool spot. Gets back in the ring, gets kicked in the knee. Sound psychology, well done. And then gets hit with the Koloss for the 1-2-3. The Koloss A is a shit finishing move. It's a Cobra Clutch Slam. I've seen better finishing moves from... Oh, the Bailey to Belly is probably a better finishing move. I mean, genuinely serious. But yeah, Jinder Mahal retains. I'm going to give this match 3.25 stars. This was a pretty good little matchup. Randy Orton worked his ass off in this matchup. He sold really well. Really, really well. And Randy Orton is a great seller. He's got great facial expressions. He knows how to sell a body part well. So kudos to Randy Orton for giving Jinder Mahal his best match that he will probably ever have. So kudos to Randy Orton. And the Stings deserve a little bit of kudos for taking those really, really cool spots. But the fact that Jinder Mahal was out after the RKO for like 5 minutes, and then Randy killed the Sings, and then Jinder wakes up, tells you how much of a jobber Jinder Mahal is. He was out for 5 minutes of the RKO. Like, ugh, why don't people get it? I don't get why people don't get it. Like, it's such shit. Anyway, 3.25 stars. The best match on the show so far is a Jinder Mahal match. You'll never, ever get to say that again. Filler time, boys, because we needed to fill this pay-per-view. So we have Breezango against the Ascension. Why the Ascension on pay-per-view? And my notes basically say, this is why I hate the brand split. I used to love the brand split when it was SmackDown and Raw back in like 06, when it was like Ray was on SmackDown and Cena was on Raw, because you had a lot of stars on those shows. You had Booker T, you had Triple H and Michaels and Orton and JBL and Bobby Lashley and like Umaga and guys like that, and Great Khali and Undertaker, and you had a lot of people who deserved to be on pay-per-view. Even like people like Khali who just had presence deserve to be on pay-per-view more than like the Ascension. And this is why this brand split is shit. Because if you think about every pay-per-view that has been brand specific since the first one, which was Backlash back in September, have any of them been better than the joint pay-per-views of yesteryear? Or just the joint pay-per-views we've had since? So we've had Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. They are the 3 best pay-per-views since the brand split. There's a reason for that, and it's because you've got all this talent to work with. Come on, I think you just need to win the brand split. I'm being genuinely serious. It just hasn't worked. You've got to fill pay-per-views with the Ascension in a crappy filler match that lasts 1 minute, where Fandango wins with a cradle, or lasts 3 minutes, sorry. The worst pay-per-view match I've seen so far this year, outside of the Jinder Mahal Cesaro one, probably at Fastlane. No, this one's probably worse, I'm sure. My notes for this match are very simple. Snore, God Breezango are over, haha, because they really weren't, because the crowd didn't give a shit. Boo, end now, please. Fandango cradles Victor for the 1, 2, 3. This happened for reasons. I give it 1 star. And then finally, we had the main event match, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, the thing that we came to watch. Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Dolph Ziggler. This match was amazing. This match was awesome. It told such a great story. There were so many things going on. You had Zayn and Owens. Owens costing Zayn again. You had Baron Corbin and Ziggler teaming for a little bit, and then Corbin's like, "Ha, dick, no," and then sparks him out. You had AJ Styles and Nakamura at the end, which was awesome. You had Styles and Owens going for each other. Now, this match had some of the best spots I've seen in a Money in the Bank ladder match in like a decade. Like, this was probably the best Money in the Bank match they've done in a long, long time. Like, since 24, probably even better than that one. This is one of the best Money in the Bank ladder matches they've ever done. So if I look at my notes, basically, before the match started, Nakamura was taken out by Baron Corbin. Now, that was smart, because that got Corbin over as a heel. But Nakamura, I think, would have been terrific for this whole match. Like, he came out in the last 5 minutes, but I thought he would have been terrific in this whole match. I also noted that this match started at 10 minutes past 3, which is 50 minutes before the end of the show. So I was like, this needs to go very long, or we're going to have a short show. We did have a short show. And then my notes are like, oh my god, I hate this brand split. Nobody gives a shit about Ziggler. Everyone loves Sami. Sami needs a break. I wanted Sami Zayn to win this match so much. I just knew it wouldn't happen. Nakamura is not coming out last. That means Corbin is. And then it was like, oh shit, that's not good. Corbin attacked Nakamura. Fuck you, Corbin. Nakamura is just another SmackDown guy, because he just is now. Which I'll talk about in a bit, actually. You bastards, WWE. And then we get into the actual match. Now, spots. There's a lot of spots. So, Zayn took out Owens with a dive on the outside early. Ziggler and Corbin worked together to take out Styles. There was those two fractions. First big spot really came with Corbin giving Ziggler a deep 6 on the floor. That was a really, really cool spot, especially because he caught him off the apron. Owens was thrown into a ladder off the top rope by Zayn. The ladder just buckled, and Sami was like, well, I'm not climbing this one. Sami was then sent into a ladder in the corner. That was fine. Dolph did a zigzag off a ladder to Corbin, which didn't look great, but it looked fine. And then it kicked in when Sami did the sunset flip to Dolph off the ladder. After this moment, this match was like on, and the crowd were going ballistic. They loved every second of this. That was awesome, I said. A half and a half suplex by Sami Zayn onto Kevin Owens on the apron. And it was like the best half and a half suplex you've ever seen. It was dramatic. It was like Kenny Omega. If I've watched Dominion, by the way. I'll do a review of that at some point. But Dominion was amazing, by the way. Kenny Omega at Dominion did the best Dragon Suplex ever. He teased it, he moved the arms, he put one arm under, put the other one. Sami Zayn did that exact same thing. He put one arm under, he put the other arm under, gave it a second to settle in, and then gave him the half and half from the apron. Just killing poor Kevin Owens. That was absolutely awesome. And then, in my spot of the match, because the camera above caught this perfectly, Sami Zayn's climbing the ladder, Styles gives him a phenomenal forearm off the ladder. That was outstanding, and from above it looked unbelievable. Unbelievable. Then we had even more chaos. AJ Styles was chokeslammed on a bridge ladder at ringside. AJ eventually got back up and gave Kevin Owens an AA onto that same ladder, not breaking. Owens just died. Seriously awesome stuff there. Styles then was climbing the ladder. Dolph pulled the ladder from underneath, and Dolph Ziggler did very little in this match. I thought he was good, but he didn't do a lot. Dolph Ziggler pulled the ladder from underneath AJ. AJ's hanging from the hook. And it's like, oh my god, this is not going to end well. AJ falls and just dies. He's gone forever. He's not. But yeah, he just died. That was a risky spot. But the best thing about these risky spots is, unlike the women earlier, I didn't feel like these guys would die after every spot. Some of them, like that one, yes. Some of them, like the half and half in the apron, yes. Maybe the AA on the ladder, but the phenomenal forearm, like spots like that look amazing but are so safe, are my favourite spots. So after Styles died, Shinsuke Nakamura came back out and his music played for some reason. They didn't need to play his music. He ran in because Corbin was climbing the ladder and Nakamura was like, hi, not going to do that. Nakamura runs in, dodges a ladder, gives Corbin a Kinshasa, gives Ziggler a Kinshasa, gives Zayn a Kinshasa, gives Owens a Kinshasa from the outside. And this was the best thing Nakamura's done on the main roster, because he didn't look like just another guy. He here looked like an absolute badass. He'd had his ass kicked. He'd had his ass whipped. But he still somehow came out and destroyed 4 men. He gave them all Kinshasas. He set up the ladder. And as he looked through the ladder, he saw AJ Styles. And the crowd lost their shit. Like, this was unbelievably awesome. Both men, they moved the ladder to the side. And they just threw forearms at each other. And for like 1 minute, this match was unbelievably great. They both decided to climb the ladder. They were climbing and grabbing. In comes Baron Corbin, and he pushes the ladder over, and then he climbs the ladder, and he fiddles with the briefcase for a second, and he gets the briefcase. Baron Corbin's boring as shit. He did not deserve to win this. I don't care what anybody says. Like, he's greener still. He's boring. He's a better option than Jinder, but not by that much. But, finish aside, and winner aside, I didn't want him to win, obviously. He was like my least. I would have had Ziggler win over him. And Ziggler's diabolical at the moment, like, in terms of push. Overall, this match was, like, incredible. Like, this was the best Money in the Bank match, surely, for, like, a long time. So I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. This was unbelievably great. This is one of the best main roster matches the WWE have put on this year. And that is how you end Money in the Bank, with Baron Corbin standing tall. So guys, thanks for watching. This has been Raw Slot, a weirdly long Money in the Bank review. That's because I have notes. A review was what I just said. That's because I had a lot of notes. Thanks for watching. This has been Raw Slot. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Tell me your thoughts. What did you think to Money in the Bank 2017? What do you think to Baron Corbin and Carmelo as the Money in the Bank winners? I don't like either. What did you think to how many heels went over? There was 2 faces going over. This was a sad pay-per-view, and that's why I felt like maybe Sami Zayn could win the Money in the Bank. No. No. What do you think to the Randy Orton match? Am I being too harsh on Jinder Mahal? No, I'm not. That's it, pretty much. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Revolver Rosselot.